Hello everyone. Today we'll make an experiment with water, with petrol and thermocol. Let us take two containers first. Here we have taken one container and another container, this one, right? Now we'll take two things. One is, in this container we take water, and in this container we'll take petrol. And you see, these are some of our thermocol. You see here, these are some of the thermocols we have taken. You see here, these are thermocol, right? You can see that these are thermocols we have taken here. Now we'll find how the experiment goes. You see, these are the thermocols. Now we see what happens if we put these thermocols in water and in petrol. Here you see, we have taken petrol in this water bottle, right? I see that we are taking water in this container. See here, we have taken water in this container. See? And if we put this thermocol, let us see what happens. You see, this is the thermocol, and we are putting thermocol in water. Let's see what happens. Thermocol is not dissolving in water. You see here. Right? Now, you see, this is petrol, or what you say it as gasoline. And you know that when you take petrol or gasoline is a non-polar solvent, similar to polystyrene. Since like dissolves like, non-polar solvents like petrol can interact with and dissolve non-polar substances like polystyrene. When thermocol is placed in petrol, the non-polar solvent can break down the polystyrene structure, allowing it to dissolve or disintegrate. That means if we put this thermocol in petrol, it will dissolve. We know that the gasoline or petrol is an hydrocarbon. Not only that, you see, these thermocol are also hydrocarbons, and hydrocarbons mixes with hydrocarbons. Let us see what happens. You see, this is the petrol we have taken, and if we take this petrol here or gasoline, let's see what happens. I see, we have taken petrol and we put these thermocols. You see what is happening. You just see, we are putting this thermocol in petrol. Oh my God, it dissolves. You see here? You see here, the whole thermocol dissolves in petrol. The question is why it dissolves. Actually, thermocol, also known as expanded polystyrene foam, is a type of plastic foam composed of polystyrene. Polystyrene is a hydrophobic material, meaning it repels water and does not dissolve in it. It repels the water in case of water, but in case of petrol, it dissolves in petrol because both are hydrocarbons. And we know that the gasoline, or what we can say as petrol, the general formula for petrol is CnH2n plus 2. That means it is a hydrocarbon of hydrocarbon. The formula for petrol is C8H18, that is, it has 8 carbon and 18 hydrogen, right? And it is hydrocarbon. You can see in all the cases, you see it dissolves the petrol. In petrol, these thermocol dissolve very easily. You see here this one, just you see, oh my god, right? In this you can see that thermocol dissolves in petrol but not in water. Again I am explaining, thermocol dissolves in petrol due to the non-polar nature of both substances, while it does not dissolve in water because water is a polar solvent and thermocol is non-polar solvent. You see, thermocol is a non-polar solvent and water is a polar solvent. That's why it doesn't mixes with each other. But in case of petrol, it mixes with the petrol. The thermocol dissolves in petrol because both are hydrocarbons. You see here, let us see once again, and you see that it dissolves in petrol very easily. You see, this is the petrol we have taken and you just see it. Oh my god, it dissolves immediately. Thus you can say that thermocol dissolves in petrol due to the non-polar nature of both the substance, right? Because petrol is non-polar and thermocol is also non-polar and it dissolves in it. But in case of water, water is a polar solvent and thermocol is a non-polar. That's why it doesn't dissolve with each other, right? This is the reason why this thermocol dissolves in petrol. Let us take another thermocol and let us take another experiment whether it is dissolving in this petrol or not. You see here, see, oh my god, it dissolves very quickly, right? It dissolves and vanishes, right? Now in the end, in the conclusion, we can say that thermocol, also known as expanded polystyrene foam, is a type of plastic foam composed of polystyrene. Polystyrene is a hydrophobic material, meaning it repels water and does not dissolve in it. When we place thermocol in water, it does not dissolve because water molecules are polar, meaning they have positive and negative ends. Polystyrene, being non-polar, does not interact favorably with water molecules, hence there is no dissolution in case of water. On the other hand, petrol or gasoline is a non-polar solvent similar to polystyrene. Since like dissolves like non-polar solvent like petrol can interact with and dissolve non-polar substances like polystyrene. When thermocol is placed in petrol, the non-polar solvent can break down the polystyrene structure, allowing it to dissolve or disintegrate. In summary, you can say that thermocol dissolves in petrol due to the non-polar nature of both substances, while it does not dissolve in water because water is polar solvent and thermocol is non-polar, right? In this experiment, we found that since both are non-polar, it dissolves, and we know that like dissolves like, or you can say that hydrocarbon is attracting this hydrocarbon and it dissolves in it. But in case of water, it is a polar solvent and it is, this thermocol is a non-polar, that's why it doesn't dissolve with each other, right? Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video.